Namaskar.
Namaskar.
Today we have Shri D.C. Nath ji at World Hindu News Hindu Talk Show, Vishwa Hindu Samachar. It's a privilege to have D.C. Nath ji at World Hindu News Hindu Talk Show. He is currently president of Patriots Forum and he is an ex-special director of Intelligence Bureau India and lot of other administrative roles in the Indian intelligence system and some in Indian corporates. He has lot of experience. D.C. Nath ji,
Yes.
we welcome you to World Hindu News Hindu Talk Show and it's a privilege to have you.
Thank you so much.
First question I would like to put is in last government year back we saw one intelligence agency
Yes.
probing another. For example, CBI probing RAW for something and NIA probing Maharashtra intelligence groups. What can you infer on that? It is a demoralization of Indian intelligence agency. What is the theme behind that news we heard?
No, it doesn't look to be a political agenda between the two organizations. It was a political agenda of the Congress party to pull down Narendra Modi, who was emerging as the future leader of India. So, it is not the rivalry between the two organizations. It is an agenda of the Congress to find out flaws in the intelligence organization by the CBI so that they can put Mr. Narendra Modi in difficulties. So I will not say one organization against the other for their own interest. The CBI was being used by the Congress government so that they be in difficulties, Narendra Modi will be in difficulties.
It's like a scapegoat being used
Yes.
for their political
Agenda.
What are the next three states that are going on the way of Kashmir?
The states are very clear. First, as we visualize, Kerala is on the verge of becoming next Kashmir. Then West Bengal, maybe between the two, West Bengal and Kerala, very difficult to say which will be next Kashmir. So these two are sure. Then third Kashmir is difficult to say at this stage, but possibilities, if we look at the possibility, it can only be Bihar. Because there are difficulties in Assam, but that is not the Kashmir time.
So first is Kerala, second is West Bengal and third is Bihar.
First two are certain.
Okay. On Chinese threat, now China has become like a big dinosaur from its economy and putting heavy investment in military, threatening most of the neighbors. What is your solution to the communist dinosaur?
See, let us look at it this way. China is not any longer a communist group. They still have the communism at the core of the system of administration. But they are a strong power trying to have access to the Indian Ocean and build up some strength around India. They understand it very clearly. A threat to them can only be India. But my assessment is, present Chinese leadership is quite pragmatic. They will not go for any war with India at this stage.
Thank you, D.C. Nath ji. But Pakistan, that has been a long-term pain in the butt for India and continuously, in spite of there are so many attacks on its own soil, continuously have an anti-India, anti-Hindu ideology. What is your long-term solution you suggest for Pakistan to have a peaceful India?
Pakistan, at this point of time, one cannot visualize any peace with Pakistan. Pakistan itself is in great difficulty, and so we have to suffer Pakistan as a neighbor. After all, we cannot change geography. A peaceful Pakistan is out of question. So we will never have a practical solution so far as Pakistan problem is concerned. Personally speaking, I have my doubts that even the United States may be behind Pakistan in prolonging the militancy in Kashmir, because US, apart from they requiring presence in Pakistan, they need presence in Kashmir.
And why do US need presence in Kashmir?
Well, it's a highly strategic place. So to keep watch on how India is reacting to Pakistan's militancy on the Indian side, they need a base in Kashmir.
Now we have a new government under Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. How do you see the morale of intelligence agencies, military and other security apparatus in India? Has that morale changed and how are they feeling now?
No, there has certainly been a lot of change in the morale of the security forces, including the armed forces. Though there are strong grievances of the armed forces yet, but Modi ji has apparently tuned up the defense of the country and trying to organize it. For example, the present defense minister. So I would think it will be correct to say the morale of the intelligence or security forces right now is on the up.
We have Mr. Ajit Dhoval as our National Security Advisor, whom the IB, RAW and other intelligence directors report for national security. And he has been supported by many nationalist groups. How do you see India going forward under his stewardship in terms of communist corridor, jihadi corridor and other dangers India faces globally?
See, Mr. Ajit Dhoval is an exceptionally brilliant officer. I can tell you that I've been lucky that I've been his tutor, so to say. He is operative as well as strategic. See, in intelligence there are two parts, one is operation and one is strategy. Fortunately, he combines both these aspects, but he is more of an operative. So under his guidance, I am sure these agencies will thrive.
Thank you, D. Sinha. And we have the mainstream media of India. We have seen on many prominent news channels that whenever some terrorist is killed or once some terror boat is being blown off, the mainstream media victimize the Indian police, Indian intelligence agencies, Indian Army, Coast Guard for anything they do good for the national security.
Yes.
Why they do this? Aren't they ashamed? Are they? What is the philosophy behind this anti-patriotic actions?
See, the mainstream media is totally controlled by foreign fund. Whoever is there now, individuals can be more or less, but they do not have any patriotic or patriotism, so to say. So if they get an opportunity, they will berate the security forces. They berate the armed forces. They are prepared to do anything because they are being paid agents of different foreign countries. So this is a problem for all of us, all security agencies, so to say, to how to get a favorable press. We are just not getting any favorable press, which is a long-term problem, and Mr. Ajit Dhoval has to look into this.
ISIS enters India. What scenarios Hindus have and what is the situation would be?
It will be devastating if ISI also enters India. Fortunately, there are one or two important factors. With all their mischief-making capability, Indian Muslims are as yet not given to terrorism as such. But ISI has created tremendous impact on many sectors, many sections of the Muslims. As a matter of fact, you'll be happy to know on 21st March, we are organizing a panel discussion on the growing influence or effect of ISI's emergence on India. So it has to be taken care of. Government of India has not worked out any policy. Again, I'll say Mr. Ajit Dhoval, I'm sure he is working out something, but a strategic approach has to be worked out, and state security forces, central security forces have to be told how to prepare themselves right from now. Otherwise, we may be taken aback.
Thank you, Nath. As an intelligence special director in your profession, you must have been encountered a lot of scenarios where you see that devil designs for Hindus. Do you have some example to enlighten the Hindu society how endangered they can be?
I'm sorry that I'm afraid Intelligence Bureau, I don't know right now because I've superannuated about 20 years back. Intelligence Bureau was used to cover Hindu parties or sections and communist groups. They never, I do not know whether they do it right now, to assess the Hindu psychology. Time has come, as a matter of fact, to share with you. I have requested some directors in the past, they should open a particular special cell in the name of study of demography, which is very neutral term. Otherwise, there is no specific coverage of the Hindu psychology except in the few organizations like the RSS, etc.
Thank you, Nath. How to arouse the somnambulent Hindus?
Well, this is a very difficult problem which, in our practice forum, through the practice forum, we are trying to arouse this group. They have forgotten that Hinduism also speaks of to be very valiant in defense of Dharma. To protect Dharma, they will also have to kill. Our all gods and goddesses are armed. But we have been lulled into the perception that Ahimsa Parama Dharma. Himsa Dharma Tathai Bacho. That has not been taught to us. So this is a big mistake. We will have to, through media and whatever writings you can do, everybody do, they have to be aroused. How to do it, very difficult to say, but unless the only ground would be that it is not a fight, we are defending ourselves. That is what we are doing from the practice forum. We are telling the Hindus that you think how you can defend yourself, because if you are not able to do this and also convey this to your future generation, if you do not do that, they will never forgive you. That, Father, you knew about the threat, you have never told us. So that is an important duty for all elders today.
Last question to Nath is introduce some amount of virility among Hindus to defend Dharma and civilization. What are your comments on that?
Well, my suggestions will be, as we try to do from the practice forum, hold regional meetings. We've been telling our friends in different states that various mails which send, carrying some message and all that. So on the basis of that mail, whatever material is there, you hold meetings so that this can be explained to them. Unless we can explain to them in person, only mails will not do, because mails are not read by many, particularly in the villages. So one system is, which we are trying to build up, you take a state headquarters, then tell whoever is in charge of state headquarters to get into the district headquarters. District headquarters should go into the panchayat headquarters. Like that, a lineup should be made.
Thank you, DC Nath ji, for being at World Hindu News Hindu Talk Show. What is your message to the worldwide Hindu society?
Well, I am not big enough to give a message to the world Hindu society, but I only urge and pray the Hindus unite. Unite to defend yourselves, otherwise future is very bleak for us.
Thank you, DC Nath ji. An insightful discussion with DC Nath ji, ex-Special Director, Intelligence Bureau, Government of India, and President of Patriot Forum on strategic topics. Namaste.
Namaste.